Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison, and today we'll be going over the markets, looking at the Ethereum chart, Bitcoin chart, and a couple of news stories. Things are obviously changing with the kind of coronavirus. Everybody's going to be in. Government have kind of released last night in the UK that basically we'll have to stay at home. We're not under house arrest, but we'll have to stay at home, and there's only a couple of reasons we're allowed to go out, and the police are given powers to stop us as well. Scary stuff. But that's the way it is just now, and we have to make the best of what we've got. Bitcoin shot up last night as well with markets, with the announcement that the Feds are going to just kind of keep pumping money in. Whatever you think about it, the markets are going up just now. It seems as if everything's getting back to normal, but it's far from normal, far from normal. But we'll look at that in a second as well. Now, if you want to support this channel, there's a link down below to buy my new book called The Way Principle. That's coming out at the end of April. I'm just getting ready for kind of the launch of that, just doing promotions for it. But if you'd like to support the channel, the link is down below to buy that book. You can buy it kind of all over the world: Australia, Canada, UK, America, just all over the world, and Europe as well, obviously. So if you'd like to do that, that'd be fantastic. Okay. Let's have a look at the markets just now, see if it's changed much. $186 billion with an overall market capitalization. Bitcoin dominance obviously going up to 65.7. Bitcoin itself shot up 14%. And I watched that kind of shooting up and I thought, manipulated market. However, if you were doing what we were saying kind of the other day, I was talking about trading the bears and the bulls on Binance. On the 15-minute chart, you could have maybe not seen it coming, but you could have been in just now, in and out and in and out. And I think at the moment that's the best way to go, because it is going to be manipulated. The market is manipulated. It has to be. It can't go up by that much in such a short space of time. And I'm going to show you the chart there as well. So I would imagine what's going to happen, we're going to get lots of kind of pumps, dumps, until the market settles, until we get back to normal, and kind of investors are kind of holding for the long term, or holding it as a store of value, or using it as a cryptocurrency. Then that's a long way off. Can we still make money? Yes. Is it a real market? It doesn't feel like it just now, to be honest. It really doesn't feel like a real market at the moment. So first of all, look at the Ethereum chart. Ethereum is actually breaking out from the symmetrical triangle. You can see that here. It had a base. We were looking at this yesterday. It had a base. It kind of broke to the downside, and we thought, okay, this could fall down further. But with the measures they put in place for the stock market, obviously that's had a good effect on Bitcoin, and subsequently a good effect on Ethereum price as well. Can it fall again? Of course it can fall, yep. There's no doubt it can fall again. I think we're going to see a lot of pump and dumps. So I'm not collecting Ethereum just now. I'm not kind of buying up Ethereum for the long term at the moment. I still think there's more downside to come. But we can still trade it. I'm going to show you that in a second as well. So it's up, it's breaking out of this symmetrical triangle. So we could see this potentially going back up to about $240. We could see potentially going back up to $240. Or obviously if it breaks the downside, we could see it under $100 again, and possibly lower. It's just a crazy market. TA is not going to work as well as it did before, because of everything that's happening. TA is just not going to cut it. Short-term TA, yes, I do think we can still use short-term TA, but long-term TA, not so much in this market. But this is short-term. This is kind of, we're talking over a week. This is on the 4-hourly chart. So I'm not kind of looking at the kind of daily or the weekly or anything just yet until markets really settle down. So I'm looking at shorter-term charts here. So $140 for Ethereum, which is really good compared to where it was. Just a couple of days ago. We're talking $90 it was back on the 13th of March, so that was only 11 days ago. So we'll see where it goes from here. Bitcoin, similar as well, it's breaking out. Kind of had a channel here. This is on the 4-hour chart as well. It's kind of trading within this channel. It's breaking out of that channel. It's not closed on the 4-hour yet, so it might kind of bounce off that support or resistance there, around about the 6,700 mark. And could come all the way back down to 5,700 again if it stays within this channel, and drop further as well. But that's it just now. It's breaking out just now, and I'm going to show you kind of just what happened. If you look in a 15-minute chart just now, this is how you know this is not kind of true market. I'm just going to put this, still highlight it. So this was yesterday, kind of my timeline, about 11:45, 12:45. We had crossed over on the 15-minute. You can see here we crossed over, and that would have been a crossover. You'd have got in here around about 5,800, but within the space of an hour or something, it had jumped up, what, 13% within the space of an hour or so. So that's not organic, that's not a natural thing that kind of happens, because it pumped up. Even if you go down to the 5-minute chart and look at it, you can see here that was in the space of 20 minutes. It kind of pumped up here by about 8%. So it's not natural. So the whales are kind of dominating this just now, and the whales are in control, and they could kind of send it much higher than it is just now, or they can bring it much lower. Now a lot of people are asking as well, why would the whales do that? Why would the whales not just kind of push the price up and make money that way? Because they're making more money doing it this way. If they're kind of pumping it by $1,000, $2,000, selling it close to the top, or they've got sell orders in close to the top as well, which brings it right down, then they're buying it again, and if they do that all day long, they're going to make a shitload of money. So that's why the whales do it, and that's you've got to think, if you were a whale, what would you do? If you were kind of really thinking about the markets, what would you do as a whale? And it wouldn't be just about buying, because you've not got that much money. If you've only got, say, $1 million, $2 million, there's only so much you can do even in this market. So you pump it up, you keep pumping up from $5,500 up to $7,500, sell it all, you've made a ton of money, do the same again, and keep doing that. And that's, I think that's how it's going to play out. I don't think we're going to see the $10,000 for a while until investors really start to have confidence in the markets again. I'm talking about the stock markets and the crypto markets as well. So the only thing I'm doing here is just going to trade on the 15-minute. Just keep on the 15-minute, or even the 5 minutes. You can do in the 5 minutes and just scalp. Scalp for 10-20%. If you can get 10-20%, I think that's really good. A couple $100 a day, I think that could be really good. Even $50 to $100 a day would be really good. So it's just about scalping here. But 10-20%, that's not really scalping, that's more than scalping, that's actually kind of trading. But I'd say that's kind of what we're looking for here. So if you kind of scalped, I'll show you kind of scenario as well. So this is on Ethereum Bear. I've got the Ethereum Bear, Ethereum Bull. So I'm trading the Ethereum bears and bulls. You can do Bitcoin, or you can do XRP, or you can do EOS or BNB. I'm just choosing the Ethereum one. It's just what I know, and I've got used to it as well. So you could have sold here. This is on the 5-minute chart. We're going to go to the 15-minute chart. So down here, when it was Ethereum Bear was 1339, it crossed down over it. So you'd be looking at buying the ETH Bull then, and that was at 6:30 this morning. ETH Bull 6:30 crossed over, so you'd have bought to 85. If you had $1,000, you'd have bought 10, 12 or something, and got 20%. It went up to $103. So that was a $20 gain, which is what, about, I don't know, 200, just over $200. That's a good, if you had $1,000, that's a good 20%, so that's quite good. It's coming back down again just now on the 15-minute, but we're still above, we're crossing over. So at the moment, we're in ETH Bull just now. ETH Bear, I don't think that's going to come up for a bit, unless there's another manipulative kind of drop here on Bitcoin. So we can see in Bitcoin, this is on the 4-hour, looking at the 15-minute again. On Bitcoin, you would have went in as 6,521 and could have got a good gain on that, 4%. So $1,000, $40, and you could have gotten that. So this is what I'm talking about, scalping. Here on the 50-minute didn't quite cross over, but here you could have got in. You'd have got in before the big pump up. You could have got in here for 12% gain. If you put $1,000 in, you get $129 back. But I definitely prefer, rather than trading the kind of Bitcoin USD, I prefer the ETH Bulls and the ETH Bears and just flipping between them. So we'll see what happens here. It's coming down just now. It was at 6,835. It could get to that $7,000 range. But if we're still in this, just now in this 15-minute kind of box as well, we've hit that kind of top line again. I'm just going to show you back here. So this is a channel, if you will, the 15-minute channel. So you can see we hit it up here. This was back on the 20th of March and came all the way down. And we're doing the same again, so it could come all the way down back to 5,700. It's not looking like it, if I'm being honest. And this was the longer term kind of support line. So it could be that we come back down to here. So lots of things going on in the crypto market just now, and it's just for long term confidence. I think it's definitely not there yet. But with what the Feds are doing and kind of putting money into the stock market, I think it's helped what they're doing. And we'll look at the stock market just now, what's happening at the moment. So FTSE 100 up 220 points at the minute. Germany is up 460, and Wall Street futures, they're saying, well, this is from IG.com, and they think Wall Street is going to open up 830 points to the positive side to 19,426. So given everything that's going on, I think it's actually not a bad thing. I'm saying it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's actually quite good. The result, I would have expected it to be much lower than it is just now, even with the Feds pumping this in, because that's not a long-term solution. It's definitely not a long-term solution. All this money that's being spent, what's going to happen in the future, what's going to happen in a month's time, 6 months' time, a year's time, it's just all going to come collapsing down even harder than it did before. But we have to look at what's here in front of us just now. We can't say this might happen in the future. We just don't know. So we have to look at what's in front of us and use that information to the best of our ability as well and see what we're going to do. But as a long term, I wouldn't be investing in stock market long term or crypto long term just now until everything kind of stabilizes and we know where we are. Because we're not feeling the effects of coronavirus with the economic situation just now, because a lot of people have just been told over the last week or so to stay home, not go to the pubs, all pubs and clubs, theatres, everything's shut down. We're effectively on lockdown just now. We're not feeling the effect of the economic impact of that at the moment. That will come in the next week, 2, 3, 4 weeks time as well. So this is when we're going to see the real kind of stock market, what's going to happen in the stock market. But just now the governments are buying stocks and shares just now to prop up the markets. Otherwise, it would just be carnage out there. Are they going to go into crypto? I don't know if they'll see this as a good price. I still think it could come down to about $3,000. It could drop to about $3,000 before kind of government, that they're not going to admit to, but government might get in, and kind of large retail investors might get in as well. So we'll see over the next 4 weeks. It's going to be really interesting in the markets, stock markets and the crypto markets. A couple of news stories. Bitcoin surges on stock market optimism for coronavirus stimulus. So really, I just want to kind of touch on this. Key takeaways. Bitcoin is up 11%. It's up more than that now. It's up about 15%. As the S&P 500 and the Dow post strong 4% gains after hours on promises of federal stimulus. Gains in stock market could be attributed to optimism that Congress will pass a multi-trillion-dollar COVID-19 relief bill. Data shows that Bitcoin is still strongly correlated to the broader market, while traditional safe havens like gold continue to demonstrate their lack of correlation. So gold as well. And Bitcoin going back up to 6,750. But good to stay in just now. So gold, just now, where are we with gold? AUS, XAU. 1586, so it has gone up. That's in the 15 minutes. So it was down to 49.3. We looked at this yesterday. We'll just look on the 4-hourly chart. Yeah, it's jumped up as well. So it did get down to as low as $1,449. It's now back up to $1,586 as well. So I don't know. I think that's still a strong correlation with the stock market as well. I think there is a correlation between the stock market, what's happening, and what's happening with the gold price as well. So it's exactly the same as what's happening with Bitcoin, because there's a stimulus package being released for the stock market. It's happening. Gold has gone up, and Bitcoin has gone up as well. So I think it's optimism returning to the markets just now, but it's false optimism just now, because we're not feeling the economic impact at the moment. So I still see a drop coming for Bitcoin. Although, as I said, if you're trading the market, this is a boon for kind of day traders as well, especially on the 15-minute chart. It's looking really good. House Democrat proposed digital dollar and move big for Bitcoin. Here's why. So 11 years after Satoshi Nakamoto launched Bitcoin, some facets of the US government have finally indicated that they are seriously considering the creation of a digital dollar, a move that many say could validate cryptocurrencies, especially BTC. Don't see it myself. Democrats in the House of Representatives are seriously considering the creation of a system of digital wallets in which a digital dollar, unfortunately not Bitcoin, would be stored. So this would be a government controlled, it wouldn't be decentralized, it'd be government controlled. So this is nothing like what Bitcoin is. If they adopted Bitcoin, that'd be a different story altogether, but I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think the government are ready to do that just now, because they don't have enough control over it just now. Maybe if it kind of went down to $3,000, $1,600 or something, and they just bought it up, then I think obviously they'd have more control over it. But a digital dollar is going to be completely different from Bitcoin, completely different from, it's going to be a CBDC, something very similar to a CBDC, where it is centralized, it is controlled by the government, and it won't have a limited supply as well. It will just be just like the paper dollar, exactly the same, except it'll be in digital format. So I don't see that as good for Bitcoin, to be honest. I think Bitcoin countries, other countries, I don't think the USA are going to do it, but I think other countries could take up Bitcoin and just start using Bitcoin because it's in place already. Everything's is there. The blockchain's in place. Everything is there just now. So they could start using Bitcoin. It's just a matter of buying it up. And this is what could send the price shooting up as well for Bitcoin. At the moment, is it ready for shooting up just now? I don't think so. I don't think so at the moment with everything that's going on. As I said, we're still not feeling the economic impact of the kind of coronavirus. And this has only been really kind of the first week of a lockdown. And just last night in the UK, it really is that they're saying the police have now got the control or the power to kind of stop people and kind of order them back to their homes if it's not for essential travel or whatever. So over the next coming week, it's going to be really interesting. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But this is going to be a really testing time for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well. Okay, that's it for the moment. If you want to support this channel, as I said, buy the book down below, or it's on pre-order just now, comes out at the end of April, so it'd be brilliant if you could do that. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments down below as well underneath this video. And obviously, if you like these videos, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and hit that like on the way out. So last one out, hit the like please, and thank you for watching, really appreciate it. Until next time, namaste, take care, bye.